Ranjay, I recently read your new book, and it's a great book, by the way. As I was reading it, there was a phrase that jumped out at me: condensing the core and expanding the periphery. And as I read that, you were referring to the importance and the need for companies to form partnerships. And I found that quite intriguing as we look at solutions and the importance of technology-based companies to be good at creating, marketing, and selling solutions. They're finding that they don't have all the assets and resources required to meet the customer's true needs. They may have a piece of it, but to really give the customers what they want, they have to go out and form these strategic alliances or acquire other firms or form formal partnerships with one or a wide range of companies. Could you comment on that and how it relates to a resilient organization?
It's a very good question, and I can tell you in this regard, I feel technology companies were a little ahead of the curve because most other companies have kind of evolved in that direction. I think they were ahead of the curve because it's no surprise in technology industries where there was always a battle between platforms. And when you're playing platform wars or standard wars, you were always looking for greater development of applications on your platforms to make your platform more valuable. And that has, I think, been taken to a further level where now the platform story is much more sophisticated, where you're an iPhone or you're a SAP or whoever, and you're trying to build a platform around which you have people plugging in their apps onto that platform, so you can go to the customer and offer them up an array of offerings. It allows you to create a much more adaptive solution, if you will, because now you can help the customer cherry pick. And I think the realization that is now spread outside the tech software space in particular has been that maybe we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. And if I don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, and it applies on two directions, why I call it condensing the core and expanding the periphery, because on the condensing the core side, it's more around what I sell, the inputs that go into what I produce. I don't have all of them. The old outsourcing story. Except now I'm condensing my core, so I'm outsourcing more and more stuff that was what I would have perceived as core. I'm a pharma company, and I'm outsourcing clinical trials, I'm outsourcing manufacturing, I'm outsourcing R&D. I'm really shrinking my core down. At the same time, I talk about expanding your periphery, which is I look for complementary offerings that complement what I offer the customer. So I may not have all the pieces of the puzzle that I sell to the customer. So I'm not procuring inputs from people that I use to produce what I produce, but I'm procuring outputs that I directly co-bundle with my own offering. So the realization that I may not have all the pieces together that I can bundle, and there's a gray line over here between gray zone here, because what is an input, what is an output, it's kind of blurry. But you can look at an iPhone, the fact that the vast majority of the iPhone is not made by Apple, all the inputs that go into the hardware that goes into it, not made by Apple, a lot of the software as well. And then you look at the application store, which is a bunch of other stuff that is sold. I also use an example in the book of the largest mobile operator in India, Bharti Airtel, which does not own its network and does not maintain its IT systems, nothing. So what do you do? So I think that's the idea: is companies shrink their core, expand their periphery, focus on the customer.